All right. Here's an example on how you build your character for animation in Flash. First thing you want to do, as you can see here, I have the different part of the characters. First thing you need to do is convert each part into a symbol, no? A graphic symbol. How? By pressing F8. As example, select this, F8, name it, graphic symbol, like that. And then before you move to other parts, make sure you define where the symbol rotates, no? By using your free transform tool, Q, and then this dot here, move it to where your joint or where the object rotates, no? And so I put it there. That's it. The same thing throughout the rest. Okay. So I'm gonna speed it up and I'm gonna stop talking. All right, we're done. So as you can see, Control A, all these shapes are now converted into a graphic symbol, no? So next step is we want to group, arrange the parts. As you can see, it's not arranged. So I'm gonna move the parts to my character. There you go. Oh, we forgot to convert this into a symbol. Left foot. There you go. All right. I'm gonna put it here. There you go. Make sure that this arms front. So I'm gonna arrange it and bring it to front like that. Okay. Now each symbol, remember, each symbol, they have their own behavior, guys, no? Go to your properties and then looping option. In default, it says loop, no? So whatever animation inside the symbol will automatically play and loop continuously, no? So that's what we don't want to do that. So before we do the animation of the character, then we need to set it first, no? Para everyone, every symbol will synchronize, no? When it comes to playing the animation. So select everything and then change that to play once. Play once. Instead of loop, select play once. And then notice na ay numbers dito, no? First, later on, we will be using it to identify kung asa siya mo mag-start to animate. But most of the time, one na siya. Okay? All right. So think of this. No, when building your character, think of this. This character have how many parts? Daghan kaayo, no? So if you're going to animate this character moving from left to right, and then all the parts are moving from left to right, so we need to convert this into a symbol as one, no? Instead of these things here, no? Ganito, ganito, ganito. Daghan kaayo. So, kung kani sila tanan manglihok as a whole, so I'm thinking I'm gonna animate this from left to right. So to make it easier for me to animate the character from left to right is to group all these symbols as one. So I'm gonna convert this again as one symbol, pangalan na siya character. So remember, each part is converted into symbol. Now, naana po ko'y symbol, silang tanan na isa I name it character. So like this. There you go. Then again, go back to your looping options. Play once gihapon. Yan. So now, if I move my character, I can move them at once, no? Without selecting each part. Ayan. Like that. Now, look at the timeline and the edit bar here. Remember, if you're using a graphic symbol, you can now use multiple timeline to animate. This is your main timeline. That's scene one. If I go inside your graphic symbol called character, no, double click lang. You can go inside the symbol timeline. So double click. There you go. Notice scene one and character. Okay. So I'll go back. That's your main timeline. This is where your character is whole, kumbaga, no? Nabuo. If I go inside, ayan, notice now I have different parts. And then look at the edit bar. It says character, meaning I am now inside the character symbol timeline. Okay? So, let me animate muna sa main timeline. So, I'm gonna create an animation, this character moving from left to right, like this. Mga sabihin natin 3 seconds. F6, move that here. That's it. Add classic twinning, right click. There you go. All the parts now are moving from left to right. Okay? Now, next, what if while I'm moving my character from left to right, the parts inside my character symbol will animate as well. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go inside the symbol timeline, double click, one, two. There you go. Now I can animate them individually. But before doing that, remember if you're going to animate the part, dapat it should be separated into different layers, no? Or else maisa na sila. So in this case, we already converted it to a symbol, every parts. All we need to do na lang is to separate them in different layers. How? All you need to is select, right click, and look for distribute to layers. And then once you click that, look at your timeline here. It will automatically, ayan, create a new layer. And then ang order po niya, kung kinsa ibabaw, ubos, will also be, ansa na? Kanang arrange. Ayan, like that. Now we can animate them individually, okay? Because all parts are now separated in different layers, okay? But remember, on your main timeline, you have 90 frames, all right? So, sulod sa imong timeline, you need also to go for 90 frames for the entire animation sync, all right? So that it will animate it as well. So think of that. So kung unsay kung pilay frames sa main timeline, dapat mao frames sulod sa imong symbol timeline to synchronize everything, okay? Or else, or else everything will disalign, no? Disconnected, okay? So sabihin natin, so I'm gonna add frames here just to be sure. I'm gonna add frames here, 90 frames. Ayan, F5 for now because I didn't do any changes. I just want to synchronize everything. Sa main timeline, I have 90 frames duration. Sulod sa symbol timeline, I also have 90 frames duration. Okay? Now, I want to create an animation nga, sabihin natin, I want this arm to move from left to right, no? I can make it more complex. Probably I'm gonna symbol this as one para I can easily manipulate it. But uh, that would be the ideal way, no? But for the sake of discussion lang. So uh, I'll use this layer here to animate the arms. Sabihin natin 5, 10. I'm gonna add keyframes here because I want the arms will swing continuously, no? While moving. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna do some changes. I'll start here. Okay. And then I'm gonna, by the way, if you select one object and then rotate, so please do not change your registration point once you start animating, no? Kay maguba ang imong movement yan. So, mo nang at the start, after converting the shape to a symbol, we adjusted the registration point dayon, no? Para nga dili siya mautro. So look at this. Sa uban mga keyframes or copies, parehas siya og registration point position, okay? If you change that here, in one of the drawings here, pag imo na siyang utrohon, tendency will be maguba imong movement, okay? So, ako lang nang gi-remind siya. But, dili pwede mag-change sa registration point kung isa-isa lang ka shape, individual shape imong gina-select. But, if you select multiple shape and then you want to rotate it like this, I'm using my pre-transform tool, pwede ra nimo na siya i-change. Basta, two or more shapes imong giselect, no? The original registration point nila, guys, will not be affected, okay? So in this case, to make it more easier for me to rotate, no? With that position, I'm gonna adjust that over here, and then I'm gonna move that. And then I want to disable this, shift select to deselect it. I'm gonna rotate that like that. All right. So, oops, mali. I should change it dito sa second keyframe. Anyway, I'm just gonna change it na lang, i-copy na. All right. So like that, and then do the same thing with the other sides. I'm gonna select. Oh, better, I'm gonna duplicate this one na lang to make it easier. Okay. And all right, so I'm gonna duplicate this again. 1, 2, 3 dito. And copy naman like that. Down, then I think this one or this one. The other side. And then, okay, mali. Here. Okay. Undo, it should be, ano ba yan? While 30, 70. So I just copy and paste it, guys. All right. This one should be also here. All right. Ganun lang. Okay. Dapat wala ng middle part, no? But anyway, for the sake of kuan, ayan. Then mag-stop na ko diyan. Then again, I'm gonna add classic twin. Classic twin. Now, it's not perfect, but anyway, as long as it animates. All right. Now, if you go back to scene one, again, 90 frames. Ayan na. So, automatic po na animate ang imong arms, no? Now, like that. Now, ideally, para mas dali, guys, no? Instead of doing this, you can also do this thing, no? Sabihin natin, sir, I want to animate this feet na nag-swing, like the arm, right? But look at here, it's separated into three parts. So what I can do this method as well, no? I'm gonna convert that into a symbol as a whole. Left leg. Yeah, left leg. Then again, after converting to symbol, adjust the registration point. Notice, isa na karon siya ka symbol, no? Isa na siya ka object. And then nawala na tong mga na empty na, no? So I'm gonna delete that. I don't need that anymore. This one, I'm gonna name it left leg. All right. Again, don't forget, a graphic symbol, change the looping option to play once. Now, what I'm gonna do here is, I'm going to create a looping animation sa legs. Instead of making it here, nga mano-mano, kapila ko nag himo di ana, I'm just gonna make it looping effects, no? Para nga dali ra siya tawag-tawagon. So, I'm going to animate the legs inside. Again, to animate it separately, you need to distribute layers. There you go. Then I'm gonna animate the same thing as what happened sa hand, pero in a different method. So I'm gonna create one, two, oops. Okay, so this one, swing, and then swing. All right, go back here. So let me go back muna. So first animation is sa right. So I'm gonna move my feet to the opposite side. So I'm gonna double click. Q. I'm gonna probably move that part. Uh, oops. Okay. And then I'm gonna bend it a little bit. Okay. So that's one. Then, and last is, uh, mubali, opposite side, no? Opposite side here. Yeah, I'll bend it a little bit. Shift click, select all, then move it here, depending on sa imong salsa poses. And I'm gonna add one more to copy this 20 here para it will go back from 1, no? So mura siya 1 like that, then mubalik na pud siya, mubalik na pud siya, creating that looping animation. So I'm gonna add classic twin again. There you go. Ana lang, no? Ana lang. Now, notice, sir, nag 90 frames ka, anya sa imong sulod sa imong leg is 40 frames. Now, niyong ka nga dapat i-synchronize. Now, that depends, no? But if you know how to control your graphic symbol, okay ra gina siya. So, I'm gonna use this 40 frames animation sa leg dinia sa imong character animation. So, I'm gonna click this. Ayan. Notice, okay, di ba remember na ato'y first frame and then nag-play once ka diha? Notice, if I move now from frame 1 to frame 40, I know that this animation sa sulod, taman lang diha sa frame 40, right? Okay. So what you wanna do is, I'm going to press F6 here, and then, instead of 40, I'm gonna call that back to 1. So ang nahitabo guys, kaning legs, nag-play once starting frame 1. So meaning, start your playhead here from frame 1. Go back to character. Pagdagan niya na, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 35, 36, 37, 38. 38, pag i-double click na ko ning feet, see, I'm in 38. Pag abot karon din sa 40, you said kani nga drawing balik sa 1, creating that looping animation again, no? Like this, see? Nilihok gyapon iyang tiil. If I'm gonna remove that, look what happened. Look what happened. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 49, 40. Remember, you say graphic symbol loop or play once lang. So meaning, whatever your animation inside, it will play once and then it will stop from there. So that's what happened. No? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40 naman taman siya. Now, if you move farther sa frame 40, your feet will no longer move, no? Because again, ang imong animation sa imong sulod sa imong leg, it only have 40 frames, okay? So that's why pag abot na ko sa 40, I know I only have 40 frame animation on my feet or legs. F6, I'm gonna call that symbol again and type there 1, meaning go start over on frame 1 to create that second animation again. There you go. That's it. Okay? So if I'm gonna go back and then play again the entire thing, there you go. Ayan. Okay. Now, same thing happened. It will slide lang guys because remember, 80 lang tataman sa sunod. Maybe I'm gonna change that to 80 para nga it will sync everything. All right. Okay. All right. So play once. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, notice, akong gi-adjust because I want to synchronize here, right? 80. The problem is, sa gawas, sa main timeline, 80. Pag abot din ni karon, remember the keyframe here, you say, play once, first frame. So nahitabo karon, if the playhead moves again, ang nahitabo, ningon man kadinig, oh, character, go back to your frame 1. What will happen is, it will go back to frame 1 instead of 80. Mag-standby. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fix that easy by clicking the symbol and synchronize lang. So 80 man ko diha, 80 frame po na sa diha. Meaning, 81, 82, 83, so walay changes nga mahitabo ni, no? Look at this, huh? Yan, move, then stop. There you go. If I just leave it like that, naki-keyframe diha, nakabutang diha 1. What will happen? It will go back to frame 1. Ang sulod ang pasabot ha. It will go back to frame 1 and then do the animation again. So, this is what happened. See? The hand and the feet moves because there are still frames here na vacant and then again, you said go back to 1, iya po nung i-play po na siya. So, to fix this, simple, I'm just gonna synchronize it. Here, na keyframe, it should be 80. All right. So that's it. Ayan. I hope you understand how to build your character and do some animation inside the symbol. No, one more time. I'm gonna add a head, a bouncing head. So double click. I'll go to my head part. Remember, my head and eyes are separate. Now, since I want to move the entire head as one, apil na ng eyes niya. So I'm gonna symbol it. I'm gonna say head. Ayan, nag-duplicate na. So I'm gonna just name it character head. Ayan, I'm gonna delete the other layers. Name it head. Now, what I'm gonna do is, again, before I change everything, adjust the registration point, change that to play once. Then I'm gonna animate that head inside my my head, character head, no? So distribute to layers. All right, para iyang i-separate, I'm gonna make a bouncing head. Like that only. Then rotate it a little bit. Like that. Add some classic twin. Only 15 frames lang. I'm gonna move it. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. So like that. So go back. And then I'm gonna, ayan. Ayan. Now, remember, there are only 15 frames animation inside my head. Right? See? And then, remember, I'm gonna put it up. Kinailaw man siya. Unya, remember, imong graphic symbol, you set it as graphic play once. Okay? So, meaning, pag abot of 15 frames, di na siya mulihok. Now, instead of adding keyframes again like this, 15, just like what you did to the feet, 15, go back to 1, then there you go, another 15 frames animation. Once it stopped, add another keyframe and set it to 1. Okay? So you do that the entire, if you want to create that bouncing head animation over and over, no? So you can do that, another 15 frames, change that back to frame 1. Pero you can also do this. So since you know that this animation will loop every now and then, the entire time, so I'm gonna set that to looping na lang. Play graphic in loop. Even without putting another keyframe, it will loop the animation inside here, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay? So let's see what happened. So you have that. Ayan, notice nag-bounce ang head. There you go, no? It won't stop. Atong pagamyan siya gamay. Ayan. Ayan, no? Nag-bounce-bounce yan, no? Ayan. So, example, okay, and I'm gonna add one more frames or four more frames. Look what happened. Now, ayan. Okay, no? So, ano need na? Alright. So, nag-bounce-bounce ang iyang head. Okay? Ayan. Ayan. Notice, bisan og nag-stop na, nag-bounce-bounce yapon yung head. So, you can force that to stop by adding keyframes here. F6. And then change it back to 1. Unya, sorry. I think instead of looping, I'm gonna use single frame. Yan. 1. Meaning, pag abot niya din nga frames, here, ang setup niya, instead of loop, instead of play once, I just want to see one drawing lang. One single frame lang. No? So, I want to show frame number 1. Kani nga position, no? I can type 10, I can type 5, but I want to point it to 1 balik para static lang siya, di siya mulihok. Ayan, see? Ayan, pag abot niya sa 80, look, it won't move anymore, no? I'm gonna delete that again. Look what happened. Bisag na nasa sa 80. Look, the head moves gyapon. So I wanna force it to stop by inserting a keyframe, changing the looping option, delete loop, delete play once, single frame akong gusto. Then frame one nga picture akong ipa-display. Ayan, I think that's all with regards to how you animate, no? Build your character for cutout animation, guys. Ayan. Thank you for watching and then hope you understand